Hi, my name is Rachel Arnold, and I'm going to give my narrative speech for speech class. These are my 4 audience members. Okay. At the age of 19, I was shy and considered myself a homebody. I had a difficult time finding a guy to date. That was when my friend Ashton directed me to the online dating site called Plenty of Fish. I didn't want to be considered a loser or a weirdo for using the website, but I tried it anyways. I signed up on the website and got some pretty weird emails. Some from older men, guys who didn't have jobs, or guys who were 30 working at McDonald's and still living at home with mom. To me, these guys were considered losers. Lots of these guys thought they were almost like a Rico Suave with their pickup lines. Then I got a message from a guy who I called Mr. Kansas. I lived in Nebraska at the time and he lived in Kansas, so I thought that was too far of a way. I didn't want to get in a long-distance relationship. But he was very persistent and would send me messages even when I wouldn't reply back to him. A few weeks later, I logged back in and saw Mr. Kansas's picture and thought he didn't look so bad, so I texted him. It was a Thursday night in April, and he moved to Omaha, and we decided to meet up that night for our first date. I was very worried about my hair because normally I straightened it and I had curled it that day, and I didn't want him thinking that I was trying to impress him too much. I also had the problem of not knowing what to wear. That's the problem with women, is we actually think men care what we wear, but they really don't. I decided to keep it simple and wore some blue jeans, a simple white tank top, and some silver flats. I decided to have dinner at Applebee's with him and was very nervous and had butterflies in my stomach. I also began chewing my fingernails. He said he drove a black pickup truck and I parked in the back so I could get a good look at him. If he was ugly, I could text him I got sick and just drive off a lot easier also. I saw him step out of his truck and oh my gosh, he was good looking. He wore a gray fitted cotton shirt with some blue jeans and I could tell he took good care of himself. He turned and looked at me as I got out of my car and acted surprised, as if I would weigh 300 pounds and have zits all over my face. As I walked up to him, I wiped my hands off because they were all sweaty, and he flashed $1 million smile, which looked like he should be in a teeth whitening commercial. I asked if he was Daniel Smith, and I introduced myself, and we walked inside Applebee's. We both seemed pretty shocked that we actually looked like our pictures that were posted online. As we sat down, we said we both weren't very hungry, and I said I just wanted a side order of fries, and he asked if I wanted to share some mozzarella cheese sticks. Now, I'm a picky eater, and I didn't want to try anything new in front of him on the first date. I said no politely, and he gave me a really weird look. As we both started talking, we shared our different online dating experiences. He shared how he picked up a girl from her house, and she looked nothing like her picture, but he took her out anyways because he didn't want to be rude. And I told him that one time I had a guy waiting outside my house till I got home. He paid for our meal, which really surprised me. On a lot of my other dates, I'd have to pay for the meal or have to split the bill. We both enjoyed dinner and decided to go walk around Walmart. Now, at the age of 19 at 9:30 at night, can't really find anywhere to go hang out, so Walmart was our best bet. After about 2 hours, it was 11:30 at night, and we both decided to call it a night. We walked outside and I was worried that he was going to kiss me. It wasn't like I didn't enjoy the date, it's just that a first kiss on the date isn't my style. The butterflies soon came back, which made me even more nervous, and as we stood awkwardly around our cars, not knowing what to talk about, we decided to talk about the weather. The weather seems to be an easy get to if you don't know what to talk about. I also looked around for a distraction, so if he went in for a kiss, I could escape quickly. Daniel soon said goodnight and started to lean in, and I became very nervous, but instead he looked to the side and he gave me just a hug. I let out a huge sigh of relief and walked to my car. As I got into my car, I was worried I wouldn't hear from him again. I didn't want the date to end, and I didn't want to have to go home alone. As he turned left and I turned right, I became sad and wondered if I'd ever hear from him again. Normally, if my dates went this well, the guy would say, "It's me, not you," or have some other lame excuse as to why they didn't want to see me again. Then a few minutes later, I heard my phone go off. While I was driving and trying to stay in my own lane, I reached for my purse and had to dig all the way to the bottom and find my phone. And it was a text from him saying, "Thanks for a great night." I became very excited like a kid at a toy store or ice cream shop wanting everything in sight. I knew that our first date was something very special and unique. I just didn't know how special or unique it was. 4 years later, we're still together and are now planning our wedding. I still get made fun of for saying I didn't like mozzarella cheese sticks, but eventually he got me to try them and I do like them now. Our first date is something that is very special and is something I think back to often and smile. I never would have thought that I would have found my fish on an online dating site. And then here are my people again.